Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to another session of Social Science, children. We've been seeing about Delhi Sultanate in our previous sessions, right? So we've seen about Mamluk Dynasty, then Khalji Dynasty, and now we've started with Tughlaq Dynasty. Yes? So in Tughlaq Dynasty, we've seen about Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So today what we are going to see? We are just going to see about the three major projects of Muhammad bin Tughlaq and then the end of Tughlaq Dynasty. So how this Tughlaq Dynasty came to an end. So we are going to see about that today. So we've seen that there are three major projects introduced by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. One was taxation in Delhi. The other was shifting of the capital from Delhi to Devagiri. Then token currency, which was the introduction of new currency system. So this taxation of Delhi, it is also called as the taxation of DOAB. Okay, so we are going to see about that first in detail. Then we are going to see about the shifting of capital, which was from Delhi to Devagiri. This Devagiri was also called as Daulatabad. Right? Then the token currency, which was the introduction of new currency or new coins by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So we have seen about Muhammad bin Tughlaq that he was a brilliant ruler, he was a prominent ruler, he made very good decisions, but he was in a hurry, right? So he was always like, though he was a man ahead of times, he always made decisions in hurry. Though they were good decisions, but without proper planning, when they were implemented, that turned out to be a failure. Yes? So now we will see first about taxation of Delhi, taxation of DOAB. So DOAB is nothing but a land which is very fertile, okay. So the land which is very much cultivable, which goes nearby the rivers, so that the soil is very fertile and agriculture can be carried out very well, okay. So DOAB refers to the land between converging rivers. So especially it is rich in alluvial area between Ganga and Yamuna rivers. So alluvial means fertile. Right? So alluvial means fertile. So this was the area where the soil was very fertile. So what happened? Muhammad bin Tughlaq, so he was already collecting some tax from the landowners, that is the farmers, okay. The farmers were the landowners. So they already collected some tax from them, but what happened? He increased the amount of tax. So he increased the tax amount of this DOAB in 1326 CE. So in 1326, he told that the amount has to be increased. So what happened? That was a major mistake by him, because farmers were already facing the famine there, okay. So farmers were already facing terrible famine. Famine means nothing but scarcity of things, okay. So they were not having anything. This is scarcity. So in spite of which the royal officers, that is the people who were working under Muhammad bin Tughlaq, they collected the taxes ruthlessly. Ruthlessly means nothing but mercilessly, okay. They were not feeling pity for the people, because they were already facing famine. They didn't have proper food, they didn't have proper income, they were not having anything, but at that time he increased the tax amount. So, and the officers who were working under him, under this Muhammad bin Tughlaq, they collected this tax amount without showing any mercy towards these people. So because of this, what happened? To escape from the harassment, okay, these farmers abandoned their lands and flee. So harassment is nothing but giving extreme pressure, okay. So they were literally very much pressurized to pay the amount. They were tortured to pay the amount. So to escape from that harassment, what they did? They abandoned their lands and flee. Abandoned means they surrendered, okay? They gave their lands. They said that we don't want any lands, we will just run away from this place, okay? So they surrendered their lands and flee. Flee means running away, escaping, okay? So they wanted to escape just from their torture they faced. So they gave their lands off to the king itself. And what happened? He was forced to withdraw his taxation. Why? Because no production, no agriculture was there. Okay, so the entire kingdom started to face the famine. So because of that, he had to bring back the farmers and make them cultivate on their lands. So because of this taxation problem, many gave their lands and they went away from the place. So who will produce food? From where they will get the food? So for that, he had to bring back the farmers. He wanted them to cultivate in their own lands, and that is why he had to take back this taxation policy. So, but then when he took this decision to take back this taxation policy, that was too late, because the land, many of the lands by then became barren. What is meant by barren? They became uncultivable. So the land became so dry that cultivation cannot be carried out after that. So by then he had lost all his farmers as well as the land. Okay, so that was the major mistake done by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So then another blunder did by Muhammad bin Tughlaq was shifting of capital. So what is the blunder in that? Because he was ruling in Delhi, so Delhi was the capital for the Sultanate. Then what he did, he thought that Daulatabad, which is also called as Devagiri, okay? So Devagiri is the centermost place in the country, so that he thought that if he shifts the capital there, it will be easy for him to have the control over the entire empire. So he shifted the capital. But what is the mistake again he did? He didn't shift only his capital, but he wanted the people in Delhi also to shift to Daulatabad. Okay, so that was the mistake he did. So we will see what it was. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq's idea was of shifting the capital from Delhi to Devagiri, which is also known as Daulatabad, which is in Deccan. Okay, so it is in Deccan, though was a sound idea. Sound idea is nothing but a good idea. Okay. So sound idea means good idea. So though that was a good idea, it turned out to be his greatest mistake. That was a blunder. Why? Because the first thing, the idea was sound. Why? Because Daulatabad was centrally located and it would be easy to control the vast empire from there. So it would be easy to control the entire empire. So the idea was good enough, but it turned out to be a failure. Why? See, here you can see Delhi. Yes, Delhi is here, okay, and Daulatabad is here. So here you can find the Mughal kingdom, yes, the Tughlaq dynasty being spread over here, right? So if the capital is going to be shifted to Daulatabad, it will be easy for him to control the places. Yes, that was a good idea. But how it turned out to be a failure? Because here, it was because of the way it was implemented. So the plan was good, but the way it was implemented was a failure. So here you can see it caused immense hardships for the people. The time turned out to be tough for everyone. Okay, hardships is nothing but tough time. Okay, so why that turned out to be tough for everyone? Because Muhammad did not shift the capital alone from Delhi, but ordered the entire population from Delhi to move to Daulatabad. So he wanted each and everyone from Delhi to move to Daulatabad. So if you see, that was not, see, without any kind of transport, only with the animals we have, okay, it was very difficult to move from Delhi to Daulatabad, okay. The distance was quite far away, so people found it very difficult to move, carrying all their items, all their household things, all the things they required for their livelihood, for everyday life, they required things, right. So for that, they found it very difficult to move from Delhi to Daulatabad, okay. So, thousands of people died while making this journey because they were not able to travel continuously, they were not able to walk continuously, and thousands of people died when they were traveling from Delhi to Daulatabad. Then those who reached the place, somehow some people managed to reach the place, but they found it difficult to get themselves settled in that new place because the place was new, they didn't know anything about the place, they don't know what they are going to do, so they found it very difficult to settle in that place. So by this time what happened, the Mongols, okay, they started to attack the borders of the Tughlaq Dynasty, the empire, okay. So Mongols were another group of people who started attacking the borders because he was focusing on shifting of the capital. So the borders were left unattended. So he simply, these Mongols started their attack towards these borders, okay. So what happened after that? After that 2 years, after this attack started, the Muhammad bin Tughlaq then realized that that was a wrong decision to shift the capital from Delhi to Daulatabad. Yes, so here after 2 years he realized that that was a great mistake, and again he ordered the people to move back Delhi. So again he did a mistake that he had to move back to Delhi, okay. So what he did, he again ordered the people to move from Daulatabad to Delhi. So again this ended up in loss of many lives. Again people were unable to travel and many people died on their travel itself, and almost when the minimum level of people reached Delhi, okay, so when there were some people who reached Delhi, Delhi lost all its pomp and splendor. What is meant by pomp and splendor? Pomp and splendor is nothing but charm and beauty. So Delhi lost all its charm and beauty. So finally it had lost everything, right? Many peoples had died just because of shifting of this capital, which was a very biggest mistake made by Muhammad bin Tughlaq, right? So was that clear, children? So we'll move on to the next decision or next important project of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So it was introduction of new coinage system. So what was that? He felt that not everyone will be able to afford gold or silver coins. So he did introduced copper coins, okay. So to the value of this gold or silver coin, he introduced copper coins. So he wanted to improve the finances of the kingdom. So he introduced this way, okay. So with the view of improving the finances of the empire, Tughlaq introduced the system of token currency. Copper coins with the same value of gold and silver coins were issued. So with the same value of gold and silver coins, copper coins were issued. But again, what was the mistake there? Copper was easily available. So what happened? People started to mint their own coins. Mint is nothing but making their own coins. They started making their own coins. Right? So copper was easily available metal, but gold and silver was not like that. So to make it easy only, he introduced copper coins. Though it was a good plan, as copper was easily available, people started to make their own coins. So what happened because of that? There was no way to distinguish the fake coins from the real ones. So which were the fake coins? The coins made by the people. What were the real ones? The coin issued by the empire. Yes. So there was no way, because everything was made out of copper, it was very difficult to differentiate. Distinguish means differentiate. So it was very difficult to differentiate. So that created a very big confusion in the markets, and what happened because of that? The value of currencies started to fall. So the value of the money started going down. Okay. So again he was forced to recall the coins he issued. Okay. So he had to get back the coins he issued after 4 years. So by then again he replaced those coins with gold and silver coins. So after 4 long years he had to get back all those copper coins which he issued earlier. So it resulted in the huge loss to the state's treasury. So this resulted in a very big loss to the state. And finally what happened? So all these three were the major blunders made by Tughlaq. Though the plans were good, all the three plans sounded good, but the way he implemented made it in a other way. Yes. So after Muhammad bin Tughlaq passed away, okay, so his cousin Firoz Shah came to the throne. So Firoz Shah was not as efficient as Tughlaq. Okay, so he didn't have proper control. So he wasn't strong enough to control the empire and suppress the revolts. So revolts is nothing but people who were against the empire, who were fighting. Okay, so he was not strong enough to control all these people. So because of that, what happened? By the end of 14th century, only Punjab and the areas around Delhi remained under the Sultanate. So the Sultanate, which was expanded from Delhi to almost the end of South India, it has shrunk into only about the Punjab and Delhi alone. So the Sultanate got shrunk. Okay. So with that, we have come to the end of the Tughlaq dynasty. In next session, we will see about the balance of the lesson, children. Thank you.